Okay. Hey there, YouTube. It's PD Two Finger with the remote report. We did a remote at Delwood Park yesterday. Now, the first time I'd been to Delwood Park, I was in maybe 7th or 8th grade, and went there with the school, Baptist school. And I absolutely fell in love with Delwood Park. It's a unique place. And if you live in the Chicago area and you haven't been out to Lockport to visit Delwood Park, you're missing out. So we went out there and played in the Bandshell. There's a Bandshell there. So we played in the Bandshell, and we did not get busted by the cops. I had tried to do this when I was 18 with my band buddies. We brought a drum kit out there and a Marshall half stack, and I had my bass rig and our singer, and we went to set our stuff up, and we realized that the power was off. There was no electricity. So we went to the main, the caretaker's home. There's an on-site, huge home. They've got all kinds of vehicles, and there's like a tin building, like huge garage. Delaware Park is really substantial. Anyway, we knocked on the door, and they were eating dinner. It was the caretaker and his family. And we spoke to the caretaker. I remember he did have a daughter who was a teenager. She was real excited about it. The idea of us long-haired types playing rock and roll at the, and he was like, absolutely not. I was like, can you turn the power on, please? We brought all of our stuff out here to play. And he was like, no, there's a law against amplified sound in the park. So, yeah, that was a burn, and it was a thing. And later on, I went out there with some battery-operated gear with my daughter, back when Shrimpy and the Peas was a thing. And daughter was like 5 or 6 at the time. And we did play. We played in the gazebo because there was a group of people, the Aloha Federation, and they all had leis on, and they were doing the Aloha, and they stayed and stayed and stayed. There was nobody there watching them. It was just them. And they did their little luau music. I believe it was a boom box, and then they were just dancing up there, you know. And they infuriated me that day. I was so mad at those Aloha people for hogging the. It was like dark when they left. So we played a song called Aloha in Hawaiian, means hello and goodbye. That was the lyrics, because Aloha means hello and goodbye, and we wanted them to leave because they hogged the stage. So that's my Delwood Park, jamming at Delwood Park story. Now, we went out there yesterday. It was cool, but not too cool to freeze your fingers off. So we went out there and set up our micro rig. We had picked up a new speaker, a Paradigm brand speaker, and I had tested it, and it sounded okay. Then when I hooked it up to the 50 by 50, the Class D amp, it didn't sound okay. It was like it was blown. So we took one of Gomti's speakers and switched it to the PA, and she had the blown speaker, and we turned it around and faced it up against the wall so you couldn't hear the distortion as much. Anyway, we were playing. It was excellent. We were doing well, and then all of a sudden, a group of about 30 or so teenagers appeared. There was a bus. They had bussed these kids in. I have no idea what they were doing there, but they were like maybe freshman and sophomore age. It was boys and girls, and there was at least 30 of them. And they came up and sat down at a little bit of a distance, and they gave us the best applause I've ever gotten in my life. It was like thunderous, like, yeah, like they were like clapping and like catcalling and whistling, and like it was like significant. So then like I started turning it on, started hamming it up a little bit, and it just kept getting better, like their response. Then they were like, I looked down, I was playing, and I looked up, and they had all moved up. they were all like sitting right up by us. So when you're used to being shunned and being treated poorly by everyone that you know in real life, I know you guys, my internet friends, have always been really generous and kind and supportive. But that's not the case with my in real life acquaintances. People chastise me. They either won't talk about it, or if I bring it up, they'll change the subject. They don't want to deal with it. The fact that and then there's like other people in the family that do the same thing, and they're like worshiped for it. So you begin to get the skewed thing of like, oh, I'm not talented and my music really isn't any good. But these young people seem to think it was exceptionally good because of the applause that we got. It was unbelievable. I mean, it really was something else. And like that kind of triggered me to like break off, and I was playing more solos and playing well. I did really well. There was one point where I clammed out, and there was like 3 of them in a row until I found myself back on the path. But they stuck around for a while. They were there for a while, and then their bus came, and they had to split. They were waiting on the bus, is what they were doing when they killed the time, checking us out. So that was like a monumental thing. The response that we got was overwhelmingly positive. It was some ridiculously enthusiastic applause. Like they really gave it to us. And that felt so good for both of us. So that was really excellent. It was a wonderful thing. Today I found a 10. I have this 10-inch bass speaker. We have a 12, an EV12, which is it's a bass speaker. And you know, the idea with this micro rig is to keep everything small. But we also have this old XAM. XAM is the name of the company, and it was J.C. Penney's house brand of audio electronics. So we had this XAM speaker. It was something I've had forever, and I had built it was an AC powered amplifier circuit that had a PT2399 delay on it. I built that into it and never really used it. So today I took that thing apart. I built a new baffle, a new back piece to lighten it up because it was really heavy. It was super heavy, and I used a little lighter wood. So I put that 10-inch speaker in it, and it has the Class D TPA 3112 D2 mono amp in it with an EQ, a 3-band bass EQ, and it runs off of, there's a pair of batteries, which I may up to 3. We'll have to see. There's a pair of batteries powering the EQ, and then there is a pair of 4, so 8 batteries powering the power amp. And I did port it, and I did put like a tube in there that kind of like bends up for the porting. And we got polyfill. We got some foam rubber and some polyfill, and that insulated it really well. So I'm really excited about trying that out. I mean, I know it's supposed to be the micro rig, so the idea of putting this 12, we got this JL cabinet. I could put this 12 in there, and we could go with that, but that's kind of going to end up being like a backbreaker. Like I put a nice handle on this. So I'll definitely be testing that tomorrow. It's a little late right now, and I think I'm coming down with something. And somebody else is not feeling well here, so I'll be testing that out tomorrow. But we did build this amp today. I spent about 12 hours, minus had to run out and get some hardware from Home Depot. I had to get some fasteners, some washers, and probably spent about 10 hours working on this amp, which is pretty good, actually. It's pretty good timing. I can't go any faster than that. All right, you guys, we'll see you guys soon. Look forward to the expansion of the micro rig. It should I'm hoping this is the nail in the coffin of that. But I really didn't waste a lot of money or time putting that micro rig together. It is what it is, and I discovered this Bose 201 sounded just fantastic. I mean, it has the main driver replaced with this goofy heart key, half aluminum, half paper woofer. So we got to see. You know, it's rated at 15 watts, so it's like, am I going to blow that thing cranking it with this rated at 50 watt amp, which really at 8 ohms it's probably 30. But I have the other mate of that. I have the other speaker, and I've got some the speaker that was in the ZAM. I could put that in there. It's an older speaker, but man, it's really heavy. The magnet's really heavy. So it is what it is, and we'll figure it out. And there's a good chance I can replace the speaker that's in the Paradigm if I want to use that. But man, it sounded really good. The backing track sounded really good using this. I think it's a energy speaker, and we only have one of those, and it's kind of a subby thing. And then on the other side, it was the Bose 201. I was gifted those. So it's mix and match, and that's the way I like it. And I will talk to you guys soon. Take care of yourselves. Try to stay warm, hug your pet, and peace.